the Virgo Queen, here to awaken the divine consciousness. I do astrological and Motherpeace readings, and this weekly forecast is for the collective consciousness for July 18th through July 24th. So what we do is we look at the tarot. We do 11 card spread where we're given the overview perspective of the forecast for the energy of this week. And while I read each card, I'll also look and see if there's any astrological alignments that's cohesive with the message of the card. And so when I first look at a reading, I look at the heart of the matter. And the first card is the significator, which is reverse 8 of swords. 8 is change, and swords is our mental plane, our thoughts, the things that we are thinking about as a self, but also as the collective. So what is in the air and going on for everyone in the world? And so because of these profound, significant events that's been going on with what has been helping us with these many trines and squares in the sky is that it's breaking down the old paradigms. And so this card shows that we are letting go of the old conventional way of thinking, and that we are coming to a place where we are having to go away from the old and into the new. And so we have to change our perspective and where we actually put our focus. So the more that we focus on disruption, destruction, all these facets of war and concepts that we're trying to fight for something, well, bigger than ourselves. And so what we're looking at is a new way, a new foundation to have our everyday understanding focusing us to a new direction. Because in the atmosphere, we have Ace of Discs. And so this is a gift, and this is showing a new life, a new project, a new way of being in the world. Because in the cross current, we have reverse Son of Wands. So a lot of times with these new energies that there can become too much responsibility, a weight on our shoulders, and it blocks our creative energy. And Sun is the young masculine in all of us, and Wands is passion and fire, where our projects and our life and our forms are able to be manifested. Yet it's reversed, and it's showing that there is an insecurity in this new way of being, in this new way of existing. And so it's blocked that energy that allows us to feel abundant and worthy of all our gifts. And so what we really need is just to shake it all out, go for a night out, go and celebrate this full moon in Capricorn, and just be at peace with the things that we cannot control. Because in the root, we have 7 of Cups, and 7 is an inward knowing, and Cups is our emotions. And so what we're walking on this in our everyday is the infinite possibilities, that we actually are knowing that there's going to be many directions in which way we can go, and we're just trying to find which one our heart will follow. And that is the only one that we really need to pay attention to, because this infinite possibilities is somewhat living in a fantasy world, and it's in reality in which we're able to actually walk those steps. So pay attention to which infinite possibility makes your heart sing, and allow that to be your everyday walking meditation. Because in the sky, we have reverse Shaman of Discs. And Shaman is the father or the authority aspect of who we are in our masculine self. and discs is earth. Disc is the physical plane. And usually upright, this energy knows exactly how to get the task done and is connection with the physical and spiritual needs of both realities. But because it's reversed, it's moving towards materialism and looking at how do we really make this lifestyle that we're wanting a reality, and not really trusting in the support of what lies underneath those intentions. If it comes from greed, or does it really come from a heart's desire? And so really looking at the balance of what our reality is asking us. So if we are working in a position, in a job or a title that only allows a certain amount of return, of investment, of income, then the reality of that lifestyle is management, budget, looking at how we really work in the system and in this world, in the bigger picture. And so making sure our intentions with our actions for projects, for everyday life, is more in alignment with what's true and on task. Because in the recent past, we had Son of Discs, and this is the young masculine energy of the disc, of the physical plane. This is usually like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to go out and do it anyway. Just ambitious, and because he hasn't had all that experience of failure, like reverse shaman of discs. So he just trusts and is going to try it anyway. And that's the message for both, is that no matter where our insecurities were coming from our line of work or what we were doing and putting out into the world, that we're going to do it regardless. Because in our self-concept, we have reverse 5 of swords. And 5 is conflict. And again, swords is mental air. And this is showing that we're moving away from conflict. That whatever powerful insights you've had last week and revelations and these new ways of thinking and removing that old paradigm and going away from that inner and outer conflict of the ideas around society and our own world, and we're moving away from that conflict. We're getting more in alignment to what the truth is and moving away from the negative energy and more into a balanced way of thinking. Because in the hopes and fears, we have the death card. And so obviously there has been a lot of death, a lot of letting go on all ways, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And so when we look at death, we look at where are we choosing to rebirth, because it is truly just a part of a cycle, and to really reflect on what are we letting go of and what really does have to die. Because in the future, we have reverse crone. And again, this is a major arcana, and major arcana show where we are on our soul evolution. And crone is the magic number 9, which is the feminine and the old wise woman that have seen and experienced so much beyond what we on a conscious level could ever comprehend. And she is the keeper of the deeper magic within us all. And she's reversed. And so there's a feeling of not really being able to listen to your intuition and feeling blocked in some way to that greater knowing. Or there could be a sense of, oh, well, I know it all and I have a vision and I'm moving forward on it. And you just think that that's exactly how it's going to be. But it's the ego that's listening. And when the spirit listens is when we can truly follow. So again, letting go of the aspects of ourselves that need alignment. So the negative parts or the shadow aspects that are actually no longer serving you, and letting those have peace. Say goodbye to them and that idea of the death card, and let go and identify what needs to be removed so you can have clear insight and be more connected to the bigger picture of what our true change and revolution is happening. Because in the house, we have 5 of discs, and 5, again, is conflict, and disc is physical. And so this shows a lot of stress in the body, a lot of, stress in our home, stress in our environment, stress of all this change. But it's moving to the left, so we're actually this week finding new creative ways of how to be in the body and how to create new and different projects. So we're finding new ways, and this has a lot to do with the planet Uranus and all this self-change and self-awareness that's not only happening on an individual, but on a social and global aspect. And so we're moving and finding new creative ways to be able to express those things stuck in the physical plane. Because in the outcome, we have, boom, reverse moon. There are no steps. It just ends with this deep, deep surrender to the feminine. And I know when we talk about the feminine energy, what does that really mean? Because she has so many faces, the destroyer and the nurturer, the one that supports and takes away. And a lot of times it's the ego that's wanting to hold on to the things that we think is important. Sometimes we just have to let them go and trust that she has a big and divine plan that will actually make us feel more loved and more supported than we've ever had before. But we just have to be willing to let go of what perhaps those old thought forms or old ways of being that actually didn't really fulfill you at all, and that you were just cavering into this empty canvas of nothingness, only to find a way through, because the feminine is always there holding you in the entire process of creation. And so this card is really saying that we can't try and understand this change on any rational level, any logical way of thinking. And then again, it's in the cosmos right now. We are changing this cosmos. We are moving through the last parts of Mars and Scorpio, which has been taking us deep down into these dark levels of our shadow. And we are finding love in those places because we have Venus and Leo, and we're just, it's a breath of fresh air knowing that those deep, dark caverns have their beauty. And that is what we're truly creating right now, is our divine self. But we cannot force it. Just like we cannot force the butterfly out of the cocoon before it's bared its wings. So, please, dear brave hearts, find time for meditation. Find time to go and connect to the things that truly bring your heart desires come true. And trust that you are being led through a night's journey only to come out into the sun as a beautiful, transformed butterfly. Hope this helps. Have an amazing week. And if you'd like a one-on-one or personal reading, contact me at www.innerdoorways.com. Have a beautiful day.